there is a very high likelihood that the talks, the ongoing current Raila Ruto talks, could collapse over the Sabina Chege controversy. Now, I know many of us have completely ignored the so-called national dialogue talks, bipartisan talks they used to be called, because they believe that nothing will come out of them. That is the general feeling amongst many Kenyans. Many other Kenyans feel that the purpose of these talks is to enable Kenyans to prepare properly for that massive, never before seen, countrywide demonstrations against the Ruto presidency. I'm very much aware of that. However, both sides have been agreeing on some very major things that, in my opinion, may impact the country positively. We have even been told that somebody has agreed to open the server. It is yet to happen, but we have been told wamekubaliana. Now, Sabina Chege is the deputy minority whip. She is not even an elected member of parliament. She was nominated to parliament by the Azimio coalition, Uhuru Kenyatta's Jubilee party. And we all know that she has now shifted camp completely to the William Ruto side, the Kenya Kwanza side. But she has insisted on retaining her position as deputy minority whip, which does not make any sense. Now, in the talks, it was agreed that fidelity to political parties will be emphasized on and implemented. And it was agreed that Sabina Chege was going to be removed from her position. Something that would have happened automatically a long time ago, but has not. Was going to be removed from her position and replaced by Embakasi West legislator Mark Mwenje. But guess what happened in parliament? Speaker Moses Wetangula played games. I don't know any other way to put it. He played games. Akatumia kizungu mingi. Instead of doing the right thing, the thing he should have done a long time ago. And then at the last minute, these people got a court order. So Sabina Chege has gone nowhere. She's still deputy minority whip. And the Azimio side have reacted by saying, since you guys have not implemented what we have already agreed on, these talks will end here. We will not proceed an inch further until Sabina Chege is removed. In other words, we are looking at the biggest crisis these Raila Ruto talks have ever faced since they started. And this one is a difficult one, because State House seems very determined to retain Sabina Chege as deputy minority whip. And yet Sabina Chege is on the government side. Doesn't make sense. It is not clear why they want this, which is a big contradiction. Goes against our constitution, goes against common sense, goes against natural laws of justice. Nobody has an idea why State House are so stubborn about retaining Sabina Chege. However, whatever their motives, it seems that now Sabina Chege is going to crash these talks. And of course the question is, after these talks collapse, what next? What will happen next? When we already know that Kenyans are so burdened with the high cost of living, that those who did not support Raila Odinga when he launched his mandamanos earlier this year are now doing press-ups, waiting for Azimio to resume the protests. So it is somewhere where obviously the government should not want us to go. However, that is the situation. And it seems that this is very serious. It could actually completely collapse the talks. And please don't say good riddance. Stop first and think. What will happen if those talks stop? What? You know, there's somebody who made a very interesting comment to me recently. They said, Chris, it is good that Azimio did not win these elections. Why? Because we would have formed government with some very crazy characters, with some very dodgy people, powerful in that government. And therefore that Azimio government would not have delivered what Kenyans have been hoping for, what Kenyans have been praying for. It would not have delivered with these kinds of characters in prominent positions. And I paused for a minute, and then I realized that that was a devastatingly true statement. The failure of Azimio to ascend into power has exposed the true character of very many people, including Sabina Chege, because clearly Ruto seems to bring out the worst, or shall we say the true character of many leaders whom we had held in very high esteem before the August 2022 general elections. Even people like Kanini Kega, who looked very principled, people who had a very bright political future, or so it seemed. But now, as a result of what happened, so many bright political careers have come down crashing, and they have burnt. What happened to a man called Cleophas Shackles of Doom Malala, who is now the Secretary General of the UDA party? What happened? Very principled man. He wrote that play of what ails Kenya, and yet now he is in his own play as one of the major villains. How does that happen? What happened to Sabina Chege, whom, if I can remind you, was once being considered as a potential running mate of Raila Odinga and Azimio not too long ago? Hey. And there are many other names we can name of people whom Kenyans had a lot of faith in politically, who are now finished politically because they're all towing the line. They're all eating ugali in State House. They're all practicing William Ruto politics. Briefly, please allow me to give you a heads up on changes on our YouTube channel. Now, the Kumekucha Chris channel has been on YouTube for slightly over 10 years now. That's right. And during this time, our coverage has evolved. It has changed with the times. I've always been very determined to deliver to you, my dear subscribers, only analysis that can stand the test of time. Now, during those 10 years, I've learned a lot about this forum. For instance, YouTube is not a TV channel. It is not even like a cable TV channel. No, it's something very different. And I've learned my lessons over the years. Now, what has been disturbing me most in recent times is that currently in Kenya, there is way too much happening. And this has been disturbing me because I've always felt that I'm falling short of the analysis that I deliver to you. I'm falling short of the coverage that I'm able to deliver. And therefore, I'd like to announce my efforts from today to try my best to expand this coverage as much as possible, to touch on all very key, important, developments in our country. More so at this time, when alternative sources on this forum are going for headlines and views. Yeah, the emphasis is on views, and the emphasis is on giving you clickbait headlines with very little content to go with it. And sometimes the content is not even reliable information. And yet our dear motherland is passing a period in its history that is most significant. And therefore I'm pledging today to try my very best to widen the coverage as much as possible, even with the challenges that this channel faces every day. Yeah, some of them are unique to us because of what we are about. Okay, I know some of you may not understand what I'm saying, some of you may not believe, but I'm also certain that many of you understand exactly what I'm talking about. Therefore, starting from today, you can expect more videos as much as possible. And if I still fall short, at least you can be sure I will always try my very best. And all I need from you is your continued support. Thank you so much, even for the great support you have given to me and this channel over the last 10 years. All for a better Kenya. And coverage, only coverage, that will stand the test of time. What is William Samoei Ruto politics all about, really? The answer is in my latest audiobook, The Ruto Kenyans Will Never Know. It reveals a lot of sensitive information that will enable you to understand very quickly what has happened here. Now I believe you can see details on your screens. For only Kenya shillings 24.55 or $24.55, you can get your hands on this very valuable book that I can assure you will be an eye-opener. You'll be able to see things you have never seen before. Yeah, things that you have missed that will now become very clear. Please go for it. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.